Getting started in FPV can be pretty confusing, especially if you're not sure what your first drone should be. And I'm going to tell you straight up, there's no right answer. It depends on what you want to fly and what you want to do with it and what direction you want to move in. So this video is just kind of information about that and trying to help you guys figure out the direction you might want to move in. So I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just want to help you and just try to give you like the lay of the land of the different options, and then you guys can figure out what the best route is. So for me, when I first started, I got in by flying tiny whoops. These little guys are so much freaking fun, and they are inexpensive, relatively inexpensive, and just so much fun that this is what sparked the fire in me to build this channel and to just come back. I think I've been doing this since 2016, so I'm like 8 years deep and obsessed, and I'm still obsessed. So Tiny Whoop was my first way in, and then I started to buy more and more drones, which you do. If you've ever been in a hobby in any other category, you'd probably be in the same boat where you're just literally buying like all kinds of stuff. But that's why I'm making the video, is I want you to just see that you don't necessarily have to go that route. You can do this stuff on a budget if you have the right direction and if you know what it is that you're trying to achieve with it. So first up, when we're talking about whoops, I would just ask you to consider, are you going to be flying indoors or outdoors? Because indoors versus outdoors is a huge difference in the size drone that you're probably going to want to get. If you're flying indoors, I would really look at getting a Tiny Whoop because they are powered by a 1-cell teeny tiny battery. This battery is about $6. You can get like a fistful of these for like $30. And then the drone itself, you can literally like smash it into your head and you'll be okay. The worst thing that I've ever seen was it got tangled in somebody's hair, which is, it's kind of hilarious. So yeah, I mean, it really depends on what you want to do with it. If you're flying indoors, I would highly encourage you to start with this because it's such a low barrier to entry. You can crash it a million times and it won't break, and you'll get the fun right out of it. And I think when you're starting a new hobby and maybe you're not sure if this is the right thing for you or what have you, I think having fun and having the best experience that you can is more important than anything at all. Because if you come into this with a bad taste in your mouth, you're gonna, first of all, spend a bunch of money and end up not using the gear or maybe selling it or whatever. But it's just a bummer because I know so many people from all walks of life that are in this hobby and they absolutely love it once they get into it. But you have to have like a good experience with it to want to even pursue this thing further. I'm going to do a video on batteries, but basically we have 1-cell and then the battery sizes go up where you end up where they're kind of bound together. And this is a 3-cell pack. You can see a size difference right there. The voltage increases as you go up in cell count. And with that, you get more power. And with that, you really start moving into an outdoor scenario where you're flying outside. If you're unsure, then I would start looking at smaller frames like this. This is what's left of my 95. What was this? This was a beta FPV. Look how pretty it was when I first got it. It was so nice. And then I crashed it. And then I couldn't fix it. I don't think it's clear to people that you can buy the drone ready to go, but as soon as you break something on these little pre-builds, they're very difficult, or they can be very difficult to repair. If you end up with a camera or like an antenna issue, these things are very small and intricate, and a lot of times they all have like custom made canopies and whatnot. And just getting a replacement part, you might have to go to the manufacturer for that. And then it just adds time, it adds cost, and it adds a lot of grief in the experience of getting into FPV. So it's really like build versus buy, and there's no right answer. It's just what you want to do with it. And any of these drones, you can build yourself if you really wanted to. That's how I got started in this. Was I built this from scratch, watching a video, and I think it's fantastic because you learn how to actually fix things. If you're not super technical, just in general, this is going to really up your game just in life. But also, if you're getting into this hobby, you really will want to, you'll need to learn how to fix things because you're going to crash and you're going to break things. No matter what you do, no matter what you think you're going to do, you're going to break stuff. And understanding how these things actually operate and how to make it work somehow when you're out in the field is really, really, really important. With that said, there's no right answer. There's a bunch of options. I hope you guys found this interesting and helpful. Please drop a comment down below. I'm still working on the series. I'm trying to make it as good as I can. So your input is definitely appreciated. Anyway, I'll catch you on the next video.